the concept of APP, especially house bank, check lot, manual check process, APP. Okay, APP has a lot many things, so one by one we will go. First is your house bank master data. House bank is the bank through which we make the payment. House bank is a bank, the intermediary bank through which we make the payment. So the house bank master data through which we are making the payment, that master data has to be maintained in our SAP system. Okay. So all the informations, all the informations will be provided by the bank. Apart from the GL account which you are going to assign, apart from the GL account, all other information will be provided by the bank, which we need to update in the house bank. To create a house bank, okay, we have two processes. Okay, one is FI01, okay, where I can create the house bank detail without updating the bank account number. Then I can create in FI12, okay, where I can create all the details, house bank details with account number. Okay, so both the way I will show you how it is going to impact. For example, if I create in FI12, automatically it will be created in FI01. FI01 only for the bank master data. Okay, it is not house bank, any bank master data. For example, let's say I have SBI Bangalore MG Road branch. Under this particular branch, I can have my own house bank, I can have vendor bank, I can have multiple banks. So whenever, even for the vendor payment, I have to create the bank details in my SAP system so that I can make the payment to that specific account. So general data like the branch, SWIFT code, IFS code, bank number, which will be unique for each bank. So with those details, we can create a house bank in FI01. Then when I want to update it as my house bank, then I'll go to FI12 and give the bank details. For example, bank number is the main identification. Okay, with that I will create in FI12 and I'll give the account number and the GL account. Similarly, when I'm creating for the vendor, in the vendor master data, we have a place where we have to give the house bank, okay, sorry, not the house bank, bank key. Automatically the master data will be populated. We have to give only the bank account number. Under one branch, if I have multiple accounts, how we differentiate the accounts? Based upon the bank account number. For example, in SBI Bangalore MG Road branch, three of us, we have an account. The bank branch, the bank address, the SWIFT code or IFS code, the bank key, bank number, everything will be same. How we will be uniquely identified? Based upon by bank account number. Okay. So house bank can be created in FI01. Okay. Sorry. Bank master data can be created in FI01. Then it can be updated in FI12. Then I can use the same bank details and create in FK01 or your XK01. Okay. For example, if I create in FI01, it can be used in FI12 or FK01 also. If I create in XK01, FK01 or FI12, it will be appear in my FI01. Okay. So main master data is FI01. To identify it as a house bank, it has to be updated in FI12. To identify it as a vendor master data, we have to update in FK01 and FK01.
Okay. Clear. Clear.
Okay, Kishore, clear? Okay. Now, let's, okay, so one in the house bank, okay, one more account assignment concept, another one is there that I will explain you in the APP process. Now, second thing, your check lot. For each house bank, okay, is uniquely identified with two things, okay, your house bank name and with account ID. For example, under SBI, I have two accounts, one saving, one current. So under same house bank, I can differentiate by giving the two different account ID. For example, I'll give a vendor payment 01 or vendor payment, let's say this is my for salary, sorry, this is for my salary payment, SP01, any identification, and here I'll give BP01. Okay, so under one house bank, I can have multiple accounts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can have multiple accounts. And for the each account, the house bank details like address, SWIFT code, IFS code, bank key, bank number, everything will be the same. How you differentiate? Based upon this account ID identification and account number identification. Because for the house bank, for your current account, it will be a separate account number. For your current, it will be a separate account. After your house bank configuration is done, then we need to create the check lots. Okay. Check lot is used for your processing checks. Okay, for processing the checks, okay, payment via check. So with the combination of house bank and account ID, we have to create check lots. Okay, check lots can be associated with your payment method. What is payment method? I'll explain you. Okay, because without your house bank and check lot, we cannot do the APP process. And one more important thing, the check lot number will be provided by bank. From and start of check lots will be always. Okay, so we will create the check lot, then manual check processing. Okay, now this is a manual check processing. Okay, for example, what exactly I'm trying to say, manual check processing, we did F-43, then we made a payment F-53, then the accounts payable team manually write the check and gave to the vendor. Okay, so manually they have signed the check and gave to the vendor. Now, whatever the check they have issued that vendor has to be updated to payment document, so that I can make out, okay, this particular check is used for this particular payment document. check can be always created for your payment document. We cannot create for invoice document. Always we can create for your document type case. Okay, so we will, in the manual check processing, we have creation of check, okay, then update the encashment date, okay, check what you call update the encashment check what you call one more T code is there, that is to view the checks, display checks. Okay, now I can delete the encashment date, then I can void, for example, due to some reason the check is lost by the vendor and he is asking for a new check. So I can void the used check. When I void the used check, system will reverse. Okay, give me 1 minute, guys. I'm getting a call. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So when system reverse the check, okay, when we void the check, system will reverse the payment document, and again it will be in open item. That means again we need to do the payment. We need to create a new payment document. For that payment document, we have to create the check. Okay. Now, even we can reverse a payment document using this process, or we have another T code FBRA, that also I can reverse the payment document. But if you have allotted a check to that payment document, then you cannot use the FBRA. You have to use void used check cancellation process. Then I can void unused check. For example, excuse me, while writing the check, I have given some wrong information. Okay, before the issuing only, I want to cancel it. That also I can do it. Then I can create own reason for voiding check. The reasons, I can create my own reasons for the voiding. So this is your check lot house manual check process. Okay. Now to be very frank, this manual check processing is completely user's activity. Okay. Check lot sometimes most of the times they will create themselves, or they will create a ticket. We have to create a check lot. Okay. House bank is our activity. It has to go through transport request. House bank details, it is end user activity. Again, there will be a separate team because it is very critical. So there will be a separate team. Any question here before I go to SAP system?
No question.
Okay. Kishore, are you there? Kishore, you are on mute or something. I can't hear you. Let's just give me a call. Look up all the process. First, let's say I'll create in FI01. So in the FI01, when I'm creating, it is defined at your client level. That means it is not specific to any company code. Same master data, I can use it for any company code. Now, what is the reason? Let's say I have 5 company codes. 5 company codes, they have an account in the same bank, in the same branch. Then I can use the same. But how uniquely you will be identified? Based upon your account ID and account number. So let's say I'm creating one bank country and bank key. Let's say I'm giving the bank key SBI 001. I'm just taking one example. This might not be the original. Enter bank address, SBI branch, Bangalore, street, MG Road or Main Road, city Bangalore, main branch. Swift code, I'm just taking one. Most of the time, bank key and your bank number is same. Whose bank group it hardly we use, it is specially for some countries. Okay. Now here I created the bank key. When I go to FI12, when I give the bank key, all the information will be populated except for your bank account number and GL account number, which we need to update. Now, save. Okay, no TR is created because this is a master data. Okay, this has to be done in each client. In the production, there will be a separate team, vendor maintenance or bank maintenance team, who will do this activity. Now, I'll go and create in the house bank. FI12. Company code. No. What was the company code? VS01.
Yes, VS.
VS01 is the company code. Now if you see, under this company code, nothing is there. Now go to new entries. Type the house bank. Let's say an identification I'm giving SBI, say main H. MH is someone is created. Now type the bank key and the bank key which I have given in the FI01. Then all the information will be updated. See? Now sometimes, for example, if I create here new one, let's say FI02 I creating. Now SBI 002 is not there, so I have to create it here. Let's say SBI, okay, this is Bangalore, let's say it is JP Nagar, one area, JP Nagar branch. Okay, city Bangalore, okay, so JP, okay, bank key. Now here I created one more SBI 002, okay, and I saved it. See, now it is asking TR because it's a house bank configuration. Now if I go back and check in FI02, in FI01 I created, or display FI03, this will be automatically updated there. See, it is automatically. If you create there, it will update it here because all are bank master data. Now, the house bank basic details, address, all these things are updated. Now, under this house bank, I'll create the accounts. Go to new entries. Now, account ID. Let's say vendor payment. Okay, this identification can be anything. Okay. Then your account number. I'm giving account number. Then the currency and the GL account. The bank GL account which you have created. Now here for this configuration it is changed for your check process, it changed for wire process. How it is different, I'll explain you in APP process. And okay, similarly I can create multiple. For example, this is for salary payment. I can have multiple configurations. If it is a separate GL account you want to update, I can give the separate GL account also. Now I'll create the check lot, FCHI. Okay, house bank, SBI MH, and vendor payment, account ID. Then click on change button. Click on create button. Check lot number. And as I said, start and end of the check must be always same. For example, here I gave 999, then system will not allow you. It has to be always same. For example, below I've given 999, it has to be 9. Let's say your always it must be same, the from and to button.
Kashi, yeah, I think I just missed this lot. Why do we have to do this?
See, when I'm making a payment via check lot, okay, so the check,
okay, the check numbers.
Bank will provide, yes.
Okay.
The bank will provide the check numbers.
Okay.
Those numbers only you have to use because the check numbers are based upon the bank. We cannot create our own check number. So whenever banks give 1,000 checks for me, that check number I'll give from and to.
Okay.
And when I'm making the payment, I have to use for this house bank, this account ID from this particular check lot only. Okay? And always, if you see, when your checkbook, if you see, from and to will be the same. It will not be different. From and to will be always same. Next check lot number, for example, if it is over, automatically which check number should be used? I can give. For which payment method? Okay, payment method, I'll tell you. Okay, for example, if I want to restrict to a specific payment method, I can use. Then short information and the date of purchase when we purchase. Non-sequential, normally we never use, but if you use non-sequential, then you cannot use it for your APP process. So when we use non-sequential, when we use only manual, not for APP. For example, this particular house bank account ID check lot is used non-sequential, then it will be fine. But if you're using for APP, we have to deselect non-sequential. Then continue and again this is no TR. This is again kind of master data. Now, let's say any of our vendor who have payment document. For that payment document, we'll create a check clause. So payment document is KZ. Okay. Let's say for this particular document number, this is my clearing document. Always remember the clearing document, the KZ document type. For that only, I can create a check. I cannot create for invoice document. Okay. So to create a check, FCH5. Okay. FCH5. Okay. Give the payment document number 1005, fiscal year, check number. Giving the check. Then enter. Okay, before that I will show you one more thing. Now here, if you go to the payment document, double click on the payment document. Okay, go to environment and check information. If I select now, no check information was found because I have not attached any check to this. Now I will link a check. 110. So 50501 check is I'm attaching to this payment document. Okay, that payment document 05 from our company. I'm making the payment. The vendor Honeywell. Now save. Okay, check is created manually. If I go back, check here. See, now check number is updated here with the house bank details, check number, when it is created, amount paid. Here I can view, and another report is there, FCHN. Here also I can the company code, H, and the check. Check number, payment document, all the details. So now if you see, encashment date is not updated. Now I can update the encashment date also using the T code FCH6. Okay, company code, house bank, account ID, check number, enter, and the encashment date. Let's say it will be paid on 30. Now if I refresh, one step back, again execute, encashment date is updated. Now I want to void this check. Let's say vendor lost the check, he wants to get another new check. Okay, so for that I have to first remove the encashment date. Okay, to remove the encashment date, the T code is FCHG. Reset your caching data and execute. Yes, reset. Okay, If encashment date is there, you cannot delete. Encashment date is there. Okay. Now, before voiding, let's say I want to create my own reasons for voiding. Okay. Also, I can create FCHV. Still now, I have not cancelled the check. I just reset the data. That means I remove the encashment date. Oh, lot many students have created. Okay, but in standard SAP there will be 9 or 10, but we can create our own. Let's say I'll create 21 and 22. 21 vendor lost. Check lost by. Similarly 22. Typo error. I can use in while voiding the checks. Again, this is the configuration. Now to void a used check, FCH8 001, I have used it. That one I have issued to a vendor, updated to my particular payment document. Now I'll void it. When I void, okay, this particular payment document will be get reversed, and this particular invoice, the invoice related to the payment document, will be open. Void reason code, which we have created. Let's say check lost by vendor 22, and reversal reason, and cancel payment. Check is cancelled, reverse document is updated. See, that check is cancelled by this, and again invoice. Again you have to do F-53, create a new payment document. For that payment document, you have to create it. Now let's say while typing, I was typing, the accounts payable team was typing the check, and they've given this some wrong information. So the unused check cancellation, how to do that? Before that, we'll see the check register. No, check is cancelled means how? Check is cancelled, encash means you cannot. Check is gone. You cannot. No, after we cannot do that. See, check is encashed, then you cannot, that check is already gone. Why you want to do cancel? The vendor is already taken the money. Correct? So, if the check is encashed, we cannot do anything. That is gone. Okay, we cannot do the reversal or anything. That is already encashed. That is what we call honored. That is already honored. Okay. Now, one step back and refresh. And check is voided. Voided by whom? And the date of void. Now, to void unused check. As I said, like while typing the check, the accounts payable team gives some wrong information. Now 002 check I have not used anywhere. I will cancel that one. Void reason 01 and void. Oh, sorry, void reason code 1 is not there. That is what test. Typo error. And void. Payment medium file currently. Okay, I have opened in multiple screens. I've opened the multiple screens. That's why it is not. Now void. Now check is voided. So use the check register, which is 01, 002, voided. If you see it, I have not related to any payment document, so payment document, payment date, completely blank. But earlier one, it was updated to payment and payment date.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, clear cut.
Clear?
Hmm.
Now
Why,
let's go to the
why,
very,
why do we have this
yeah.
fee amount paid when we don't pay it actually? Generally? It's
You
voided.
did not pay it. That's why it is, yes, it is
Okay,
voided.
okay. If it
That's
was
totally fine.
paid, then that amount would have come.
Then it will be updated, currency and the amount and the recipient everything.
Okay, okay. Register.
Now let's start the very important concept. Okay, so for Kishore, when you go for the interview, your 30% of questions will be from this. So concentrate more. Okay, for you also, Vanessa, it is very, very important because accounts APP process is one of the most important process in your APP stands for your automatic. Yeah, Vanessa, you have anything to say? Okay, automatic payment program. Now, till now, okay, what we did, we created an invoice F-43 and made the payment in F-53. And in F-53, I can make only one vendor payment at a time. But in real life, we will have thousands of vendors. So I cannot go each vendor and go F-53, or I cannot create the F-53 if I'm doing. I have to create the check manually. I have to, for example, let's say from check, some vendors, they want the wire transfer. Then I cannot use F-53. I have to use APP process. Now, APP process have mostly two important things. Okay, APP. One, check creation, in-house check creation. In-house check creation. Then another one is your IDOC process. In the IDOC process, check created at bank, wire transfer, domestic fund transfer, electronic fund transfer, whatever the electronic way. And in the IDOC process, what we have to do, we have to send the information to the bank. We have to send the information to the bank. Then bank will do all this activity. If it is a check create and distribution, whether it is a wire transfer, DFT or EFT, bank will do on our behalf. So as a FI consultant, we have to create the IDOCs when we execute the payment. Okay. From IDOC, how it works, I'll explain you. But overall, these two are your APP important process. In-house check creation, IDOC. Now first, let us understand the in-house check creation. When I say in-house check creation, okay, it's again not the manual process. Here I am printing the check using SAP. Okay, printing check using SAP. Now I can use manual check process also. For example, my printer is not working. I can update the payment documents and I can manually issue also. So what I will do, I will not do the print step. But here, for example, let's say I always do printing the check. Okay, after running the APP, F110 system will create the check. It will create the check in the sense it will create a print format. You have to put the check in check leaves, that hard check leaves, the check papers in the printer. It will print and digital signature will be attached based upon the check format. let's say my printer is down. So I have to manually sign the checks. In that case also, I can use F110 to clear the open items and attach check to my payment documents if my printer is not working. So printing check using SAP. So first we can say clear open item. Clear open items. Print check. Okay. Then clear open items. Update check number to payment document. Okay. All these things it will be done in your in-house check. Now here few important things. First, in the case of check process, okay, we have house bank configuration. Okay, where I'll give the my bank GL account. Now, in all your APP related configuration is done in your FBZP. Here also we have a field where I can give bank GL account. Okay. Now, in the case of check, okay, my main bank GL account will not get any entry. Okay, our regular process is, what is your regular process? Create invoice, vendor is credited, credit purchase is debited. When I make the payment, vendor is
Bank.
debited, main bank account is credited. Now, in the case of check processing, okay, in the case of check processing, we do not give main bank account debit directly because we don't know when the check will be encashed. When the vendor is going to deposit the check and encash it. If I give directly to my main bank account, it will be a incorrect entry. So what will happen in the configuration? In house bank, my main bank account, in the FBZP, in your APP configuration, my intermediary account, and intermediary account will be updated, and when the invoice is created, the same entry. But when the payment is happened, not your main bank account, your intermediary account will be credited. When bank sends a statement saying that payment is done, then another updated will be done where your main bank account is credited and intermediary account is AP credit. So here intermediary account will be a cleared item and the final entry will be bank account to vendor.
Kashi,
This is only in the case of check because I don't know. Yes.
yeah, you can, I think, go ahead. You're telling some check. I'll say after that.
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay. We were using in our responding there's something called uncleared and cleared accounts, bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So is this the same thing?
Correct. Same.
Okay. Okay.
Some say main bank account, some say cleared account, some say intermediate bank account.
So okay, intermediate will be uncleared and main bank
Clear.
account will be cleared. Okay.
Cleared account.
Okay.
Correct. So it is only in the case of check, not in the case of your electronic fund transfer. Okay. Remember the configuration also. House bank, main bank account, intermediary account. But in the case of IDOC process, okay, the entry is this one. We do not have any intermediary transaction. So configuration will be house bank, we leave it blank. In the FBZP, we'll give the main bank account. Okay, so based upon the check, process is different and your configuration is also different. This is very, very important and definitely question in all your interviews. Okay, any question here? When it's Kishore, you type and let me know whether you have any doubt or not. So if you have doubt, I will explain it again.
No question.
Kishore,
Yeah.
yes,
Uh,
yes, yes.
for vendor payment, we are using automatic payment program, so all good.
Correct.
So we need for checks, we need this cleared, uncleared accounts. But however, when customer pays us, even that there also depending on the customer, will it be like this only cleared, uncleared accounts?
We will check later. This is pure. Let's concentrate only on vendor now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Because again, if I go there, you will get confused here. Let's clear this, then you will understand.
Okay. And house banks are the normal bank accounts. The GL account that we give are
Correct.
the same thing.
Same thing.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Good, Kishore. Okay. Now it's more about your APP configuration. Okay. Okay. So I'll go to the SAP system because there are a lot many points to explain. But before that, one more important thing. Payment method. Payment method is created based upon the type of payment you are making, the method you are using for the payment. So each type of payment, we have to create a payment method. Okay. So check for your IDOC, your wire transfer, domestic fund transfer, electronic fund transfer. So we have to create lot many methods. When I'm creating a method, it is mandatory that the methods must be created at your country level, then your company code level. Without creating the country level, we cannot create at your company code level. Next, sending company code and paying company code. Okay. For example, let's say I have 3 company codes, A, B, and C. Okay, A, B is my sub branches. C is my main branch. Okay, C is my main branch. Now, B and C does not have the authorization to make the payment. So what they will do, They will send all the details to the A, and A will make the payment. In this example, B is my paying company code. C is also my paying company code. A is my both. Sorry, A is my sending company code. They are sending. So B and C is my sending company code, and A is my paying company. Okay, the company code which makes the payment, paying company code which sends the invoices who doesn't make the payment, they are my sending company code. So in our example, we have only one company code, so we will take both sending and paying as a same. Next, check format. I will going to use the standard check format which is there in the IDS server, but this check format can be modified by your ABAP consultant. We can create our own check format based upon. So whatever the layouts the bank has given, bank will give you a check based upon exactly in the two names should come in the amount field, the amount should come, the digital signature, everything, the date, exactly with that format, we will create a check format in the SAP system. So when I print, give a print, all the details will be copied to that particular hard check which is provided by the bank. All the configurations related to APP is updated in one T code, that is FB. Everything is updated here. Okay. So now I'm going to do the basic configuration. Okay, I will generate the check, generate the IDOC, then I will understand more in detail, because if I explain you the advanced things, you will get confused. So first I'll explain you the basic process, then more in details about the different fields we will go. First configuration, all company codes. Go to new entries, give your company code, paying company code, sending company code. Then click on save. Then click on paying company code, new entries, VA01, minimum amount for outgoing. Let's say I'll give 50. That means any invoice above 50, okay, will be made via this. I can give any amount. Okay, I'm giving this one example. Then click on forms. The payment advice form. What is a payment advice? Now let's say under one of the vendor, I have 10 open invoices. Let's say 3 open invoices. All are for 10,000. Now I'm making a payment for the first invoice. Let's say this is 101 invoice number, 102, and this is 103. I'm making a payment for, let's say, 102. Now when the payment goes to vendor, how he will know that this particular payment which he has received belongs to 102, not for 101 or 103. So we will generate a payment advice which will give the details like for which invoice I'm making the payment and what is the amount, so that he can apply, the vendor can apply in their system to the correct invoice. For there, it is a sales invoice. For them, it will be sales invoice. They can apply to the correct one. If he will not applying to the correct one, let's say in my system it is showing 102 payment, he has applied to 101. Then he will be keep on following me for the 102 and 103. I'll say no, I have made the payment already 102. So there will be a huge confusion. So we will, apart from generating the check, we also will generate a payment document which will tell for which invoice I am making the payment. So that payment advice, to generate that payment advice, the payment advice format, that letter format, we will give it in this configuration. I'm taking the standard one, but we can define our own also. Then click on sender details. Okay. Header information, I'm text ID standard, letter header, how the letter header should see, footer, I'm all taking standard. Sender, okay, signature, the authorized person signature, digital person signature, if you give to the above consultant, they will upload it here and they'll give us a link which will upload here. I can give the logo, graphic, all the, as per our requirement, I can change it. But in standard SAP, those are not there, so we cannot use it. But yes, we can define in our real-time system with the help of a SAP. Now save. One step back, payment method in country. As I said, first we have to define in country, then only we have to define in your country code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. Someone has not used F. Okay. In real time, you will not find those many because here a lot of students are practicing. That's why you need to search. If you do not find any, it is all because the problem is payment method should be one character. It cannot be more than one character. Okay, it may be a word, it might be your number, but it has to be your one character. So F someone is not used. I'll create for F. Country, payment method F, description, check payment. Payment method, it is for outgoing payment. Payment method classification, for check. Payment document type. Sometimes we use a different document type, ZP, ZV. Sometimes we use our regular only, your KZ document type also. Okay. Then the payment medium program. This is very important. For the check, the payment medium program will be RF of OUS_C. When we execute the payment, okay, system will run this program. We have to create a variant against to this program. So selection of this program is very important. Most of the time, what we do, we copy this program and we add Z. Then we use the same program. Okay. Hardly very rare scenario where we modify it. Okay, but most of the time we copy it, give a new name. If any modification is required, we will modify to the program which we have created with the C. Standard one we never ever modify. We copy it, we modify. Then print data set where it has to be print. This is your standard. So here important one is this one, RFFO program. Very important for the check log. Check processing is different. IDOC it is. Now save. Then payment method in company code. Now I'll define in my company code. BA01, payment method F, minimum amount 50, maximum amount. I can give a new example. Okay. Now here, business partner allowed, foreign currency allowed, customer, vendor, bank allowed. Okay. Foreign business partner allowed. That means if any of the vendor who are in abroad can I use this payment method for the payment? If I want to use, select yes. Foreign currency payment I want to allow, select yes. Now, vendor is in India, I'm paying in INR currency, but vendor bank is in Bangladesh. Shall I allow? If you want, then click on the form data and the check format in which the check will be put. Then draw it for your company code and save. Next, bank determination. Okay, before going to that, document type OBA7 for ZP and ZB. ZP 20, ZV also 20. For range, I'll maintain for 20. Now the last step, bank. House bank we have already done. Okay, so we need not to worry because without the house bank, we cannot do the APP configuration. House bank and check lot in the case of check payment, only house bank in the case of your IDOC processing. Go to bank details. Go to position, type your company code, select your company code, double click on ranking order. Now, what is this ranking order? Now, let's say I have multiple house banks. It normally no one uses, but I'm explaining. SBI, ICICI. Let's say in SBI, I have rank order 1, 2, and ICICI 3. In HDFC, let's say I have 10,000. SBI, I have 30,000. And ICICI, I have 40,000. Now, I have to make a payment, house bank, these are my payment of, let's say, 50,000. Okay, let's say here I have 80,000. Now, based upon the ranking, system will go and collect the fund. So, from HDFC, it will collect 10,000. So, enough money is not there. Then it will go check in by our SBI. It will collect it from 30,000. Then, rest of the 10,000 from your ICICI Bank. Based upon the rank given to your house bank, system will pick the amount. Now, for example, I have given ICICI Bank as a 1, this 2, and this 3. Now, system goes to ICICI Bank, collects 50,000. Then, it will now go to SBI or HDFC. So based upon the ranking order, system will determine the amount to pick. In real time, I have never seen users, because whoever implement SAP, there will be very like financial strong people, but SAP has given an option here. Now go back to configuration. So we have only one house bank, so need not to worry. I'll give it as a 1 or 0, and my house bank IMH. Then save. Double click on the bank accounts, entry, SBI MH, my house bank, payment method, currency, account ID, vendor payment, and my bank account. In the case of check, what I have to do here, I have to give a intermediary account, and in your house bank we have to give a main bank account. Okay, so I'll create one intermediary account, but we do not have that process where we can update it manually. Okay, in IDA server we don't have, but that's why I'll give the main bank account. But in real time, remember, it doesn't happen. We always, for the check, will give the intermediary account. Once the payment is cleared, bank will send me a statement that these are the checks are cleared. Then only automatically we have to do an announcement that doesn't come in your standard SAP. We have to do an announcement where my intermediary account and bank account will be get a posting. Now,
So, I would create
on available.
one question. Hello?
Yes, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Yes, Vanessa.
So as you said here in that bank sub account, we would create
Intermediary account.
intermediate account through where? I forgot that.
FS00.
Okay, there only. Okay. And through enhancement, we will say what is the mapping from unclear to clear. Okay.
Unclear to clear.
Fine.
That doesn't SAP standard SAP
Doesn't allow. Okay.
Then double click on your available amounts. Go to new entries, house bank, account ID, days, for how many days, and the currency and the total amount of order. I'm just taking one example. It depends upon your financial. It is an enhancement. We have to do an enhancement that is not in your standard SAP. We have to do an enhancement feature where when the encashment check log, that there will be a check log called encashment check log, which comes and to your SAP system, that will be sent by the bank, and we have to do an enhancement. Then automatically it will accept that file. It will post the entries to your intermediary account and the main bank. Okay. Now I will assign the payment method to the vendor master data. FK02 payment transaction, your payment method F. Okay. So I'll assign to another vendor also. Okay, payment method F. The payment data, payment method F. Okay, now I'll create some invoice. Then the system, by default, it will take the payment method from your master data. But in the invoice level, for example, for one vendor, I don't want to give the payment method which is there in the vendor master data. I can overwrite it in my invoice.
Kashi, one question.
Yes.
Yeah. So the payment method is not a mandatory field in vendor, isn't it?
No, it's not a mandatory field. We can make it because for some vendors, I can use manual check processing.
Yeah.
In some vendors, I can use some other process.
Yeah.
So it is not a mandatory
Okay. But if I'm doing manual posting and clearing,
field. Hmm.
then in a real-time project, for everything they will have a payment method, or will it be only for
No,
automatic payment?
F-53. Oh, F-53 also we use.
Okay, okay. Okay, only
It's,
for automatic payments, might be through check or the other options. Only then we'll
no,
have
manual also used to
payment.
F110 where the
Uh,
other thing I told you know that only to the clear the open items. Okay,
oh,
then I use manually check. F110 I can use it for only clearing the open items also.
okay,
But
okay.
then I'll write the check manually, not using the SAP system.
Okay, yeah, yeah. You'll manually update it, you said.
Update the check. That also I can do it.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I
But
can use F110 for manual payment also I can use it. I can use for automatic payment. Okay.
okay,
So manual check upload also I can use it. So both the system. In the case of manual check upload, there is a step to create the check. That step I will not do it.
okay, okay.
Then I'll go to my manual check processing for each payment document which is get cleared in our system. For that one payment document I'll go. I'll update the check number which I showed you in the manual check.
Okay. Okay. And also they
Now
do.
if I
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah
Go ahead.
so if I there is a step if I complete the last step then what happened SAP system itself it will update the check number there.
When
I
is
need
that?
not to do manually.
If it is to add automatic payment program.
Automatic. No,
Okay.
you are not understanding. Wait.
Yeah.
See what happens. We create a okay. Fine. On previous slide. We create an invoice F-53.
Yeah.
We
Pay.
here we clear the open document. Correct.
Yes.
Then in the manual check processing, we create the check where I'm linking my payment document to the check.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Now this is your manual. Let's say. Let's say in your APP, that is your F110 process,
Mm.
okay, same F-43, to clear the open item, I'll use
F double
F110.
1 0. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
here again, two steps are there. Step A, if I do the step A, clear the open item.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I do step B,
Updation.
automatically,
Updation of check number.
system will update the check.
Okay.
Okay, now after doing A, I can use the B step or I can use the creation of check.
Okay. Okay.
That means system is not automatically giving. Okay. After doing A, again I can do it automatically or manually
Okay.
using this creation of check process FCH5.
Okay. Okay.
Now clear?
Yeah. Yeah. Clear. Clear. And the bank
Okay.
statement upload is something different.
That is completely different. That
Okay.
is not.
Okay. Okay.
You only concentrate on the check.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Clear question.
Now clear. There are loads of vendors who cannot. Kishore, I did not understand your question. Vendor normally we do not create manually. We create using LSMW. So while running the LSMW or BDC, we update the vendor master data with the check lot number. We don't create vendors manually. Fine. So now I'll create invoices. F-40. Okay. Again, how the system determine here which payment to be done based on our terms of payment. Remember the terms of payment, due date we update, their system will update the payment is will done or not. So I make it immediate payment. 40 create purchase. Then I'll make the payment to another. I'll go to FBL1N 2271 2273. Okay. Now, if you see here, due, overdue, system determines. Now, for this particular 12,500, this invoice is posted before the vendor master is created. But if I want to include that one also in my payment method process, while which the F, I want to clear against F, then what do we have to do? Double click on the line item, change, give the payment method. Because the invoice is posted before I have created the payment method. And save. So both the invoices, both the vendor, there are open items. Okay, 2271 and 22. Now I'll use the APP process. /NF110. Run date, always current date. I cannot give the past date. I can give the future date, but I cannot give the past date. Identification, any identification. Let's say VSAP1. I can give any identification. But in a day, for example, today for 28th, I have used VSAP1. I cannot use VSAP1 again for my entire day for 28th. I can use it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, any day, but the identification must be unique for the same date. Status, no parameters entered yet. Go to parameter, company code, payment method, next payment date, let's say tomorrow. Then vendor, 22712, 2272. Then click on additional log, select due date check. I'll explain everything once we execute one payment, then I'll explain more in detail. Payment method selection, line item display, again the vendor. Then go to print data medium. Now acknowledge the program which we have assigned in our configuration, RFFOUC underscores. For acknowledge that, we have to create a variant. VS01, this is for check. Give an identification, click on maintain variants. Okay, create full screen. Now, paying company code, sending company code, payment method, it's not C, it is F. House bank, our house bank. Account ID, check lot. See, if you do not remember, you can just go to the drop box. It will populate. Okay, so you need not to worry. Then currency. Then select print check, print payment advice, print immediately, print immediately, print immediately, and the default printer. Here I'm giving the IDS server printer, but in real time what happens, whatever the printer in which you want to print, that printer will be created in the SAP system by the technical people, and they will give you check printing, C print, check printing 7th floor, check printing 8th floor, check printing for AP, check print for this department. They'll give one identification. That number. Number of sample printout. I don't want any sample printout. That means test printout. I'll make it. Then click on attributes and the menu. And variant is created against the program rf of OUS underscore C, for which is executed purely for your check creation, not for item. One step back, again save. Go to status, parameters have been entered. Run proposal, start immediately. Okay, now what is proposal? Before making the final payment, we will create a proposal log, which will be validated by your accounts payable team, seeing that, okay, which are the vendors has to be paid. It's like a final check. There might be some vendors who don't want to pay, so we can block those vendors. But before that, making the final payment, a proposal log will be checked. Then continue. You will get proposal is ready to be started. Click on status button till you get a message, payment proposal has been created. Now if you want to view the proposal, click on display. Okay, all are okay. So all are. If it is on red, that means there is some issue. If it is on green, that means all are good. For example, let's say 12,500. Okay, I'll make it. Okay, let me finish, then we'll go more detail. Okay, let me show the one process. Okay, if it is in red, then that means there is some issue. How to find out the issue? Click on the proposal log. Here you can find the issue. How to read this one? It comes purely out of experience. You do again and again. You keep on reading this. There is no standard logic. You somewhere the error message will be updated here. It is a little complicated but not difficult. You get an error message 10-15 times. You read this one. You can easily. Now, if you want to edit, I can use the edit process also. I can edit the line item. Okay, I can block. If I want to block this payment, I can block it. Now click on payment run. Start immediately. Enter. Posting orders, 3 generated, 3 completed. Till this step, if you do it, that means your open items are cleared. See, everything is cleared. 10,000, 12,000. your 20,000. We can view the report here also. Document numbers, if you see, document 7 all zeros. You will find 7 all zeros here also. It is clear. Okay. It takes some time. These log, all these things to understand. It's not difficult. Only the thing is you need to spend some time. But my check is not generated yet. If I see the ZP document, that is clearing document, no check information is updated. To generate the check, again go to F110. That I go here one step back. Click on print out. S01 and cancel. Refresh couple of times. It takes a little time to update. Now I'll check number, system bill update. Still it is not updated. See, it is. We have opened. Oh, okay. So I have opened the screen. I did not close this. Because of that, it is terminated. Check number maintenance is currently blocked. Okay. So again, we need to reverse the document, and we have to again run the F110. Okay. So to reverse, the T code is FBRA. So all the clearing document, one by one, I have to reverse it. Okay. So 7001, 700, and 7002. All this I need to reverse now. Here actually one option is there, but I don't have access where I can reverse it. Okay, edit, payment, delete output. Okay, after deleting output, it will be again open, but this IDEA server, it is not working. So that's why we have to do FBRA. But in standard SAP, I can do delete output means it will reverse it. Then I delete the proposal, it will delete the proposal. That means open items, items which are clear are again open. But I don't have access, so I do it one by one, the preset clearing item. 701, 2014, and save. Select, reset, and reverse. And give it the reversal reason 01, continue. Similarly, one, all the payment documents.
I have a doubt. The automatic payment program for a period, we can have only one payment program, is it? Like until the next payment date, or how does it work?
No, we can have.
We can have many.
Have multiple payment runs. Yes.
Okay.
Only the identification should be unique.
Okay. Say for check transfer.
Identification. Yes.
Say for check transfer, we can have now we have or something. And then for bank transfer, we can have something called queue. So we can have multiple payment programs.
Yes, in the check only you can post for 100 times. You can run in a day 100 times. For the bank, you can run for 100 times. It's will allow. No
Okay.
restriction.
Okay.
Okay. Here is I have opened another screen. That's why it is restricted. Now, if you refresh, there will be open items again. Items are open. Now again, I'll execute. I cannot use this identification VSP1. So I'll change it to VSP2. Okay. Again, go to parameters. Now my VSP1 identifications are same. Correct. What are the instructions are given in VSP1? It has to be in VSP2. So I can copy all those parameters. Clicking on copy parameter. Give the run date and the first parameter which I have given VSAP1. Then continue. Everything is copied. See from the left. Variant everything. Okay. I'll make sure my check register everything is closed. Yes. Now again proposal. Start immediately. Continue. Yes, Vanessa.
Yeah, I think when we were trying that and free selection, we used to give the yeah.
I'll explain.
Okay.
As I told you, I'm just sharing the basics. Okay, one by one we'll go.
Okay.
So again, I created the everything is in green. Then the payment run. Oops, some issues happened. Payment run is not complete. Let's see the proposal now. What is it? All are good here. But it is not cleared. Someone is running a valuation. See, like this you have to find the error. Here it says that someone is running the valuation in.
How did you get this log? The next page, is it? How did you get this log?
Here.
And the payment.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Correct. First I take the proposal log. So in the proposal log, no issue. I did not find anything. Everything is going good. Currency available, permitted, everything. And the payment. But there is an issue. Why he is running our company code? Okay, I'll delete the output. Let's see. Okay, it's done. Proposal again, I'll delete it. I'll kill that run. Kill everyone's work. Okay. So I have deleted the output. It allowed me because there were no open clear documents. Again, I will run proposal. Okay, we'll do it fast. Before again he runs the valuation. Payment run. Yeah. Okay. Now if you see, My open items are cleared. But check is not generated. So to generate a check, click on print out. Remove the job name, the question mark, give an identification, any identification, and refresh for a few times. Okay, now no error message. You see payment run, no error message. Everything looks fine. Now let's see if check is generated or not. DP, government, check information. Yes. If I want to do manual check FCH5, then after running the F110 last step, printout step, we will not do it. If I want to update manually, but if I want to do it, then click on printout. Then to view the check, the code is SP01. I can view the check and the payment advice and execute. Check payment. This is your check payment. Click on the script. This is your check. This is standard SAP check, so that's why sure. Their language. SBI Bangalore, my vendor number. Okay, it is written in German because I've used the standard form. Similarly, if you want to view the payment advice, their language. Now it should be, but someone has changed. I'll check that configuration again. The payment advice. If you see, it gives the payment advice number. Now 6004 is for Honeywell, my 2271. Okay, that is your clearing document. Honeywell 6004. For this invoice, it has made the payment. There are 3 pages. Click on page down. 7007 is for 12,500. That invoice number is 6,000. Then page down for another vendor. That is your. Okay. Now, if I want to download the checks and everything, we have actually one. Forgot the program name. One program is there. Let me see. SA38. Yes. RST. You can use this program and I can download it. Okay. For example, I want to download the payment advice. 1394. Check the spool. Give the spool number and execute. Desktop payment advice. Okay, I can download it. Any question here, guys?
No, Kashi.
Fine then. We'll keep it up to here. Again, we'll meet 6 p.m. my time, and I will be taking the new GL. And after that, in the next session, I'll taking you through the IDOC process, which will cover our.
Okay. Kashi, I don't think I'll be able to make it. I think.
Okay.
If we can you postpone it a little bit later?
No other students are joining from US.
Oh, okay. Okay. So can I
Later in
have?
the sense, how much? How
I'm
much
actually
time?
shifting, so
Okay.
for 1.5 hours, I will not be able to make it.
Oh no, that time they will not wait.
Okay. Oh, can I have the session tomorrow, if you don't mind?
Again,
Okay.
the same.
Yeah, morning.
Tomorrow I'm not available actually.
Oh,
Can't the shifting can be done tomorrow or anything? Because new jail is something it will really.
is it? Because I have to shift to my house. So,
No, that's the thing.
yeah.
So apart from 6 to 8 time, any other time like you can do it later or tomorrow.
No,
So
shift.
new jail is important. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's why.
Shifting, I may not be able. Can I have now, late, probably after about an hour, if you don't mind?
When I said you have to adjust a little bit, I'm adjusting so much.
Yeah.
You cannot ask me more than this. To be very frank.
Yeah, no, I understand. Because it's not only me, it is not only. Okay, let me see what I can do. I'll let you know, Kashi.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm doing my best,
No,
but
I
I'm.
understand. Yeah, I understand.
Now it's like you are. I'm adjusting everything, but you have to also adjust a little bit. Cannot
Yeah.
be done.
Yeah, I
All that will
understand,
come
Kashi.
from my side. I understand. Okay. So, my request is to try to attend. So now you have like 5 hours of time. If you
Yeah.
can finish up with that time, because this is very important, new GL.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is again, some other time, 3 hours again you have to spend. Again, I have to spend. So
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
really clearly it will increase the time we finish up the topic. That's why.
Yeah. Actually, I had an appointment. I'll see what I can do because the
Yeah, please try.
appointments here are very strict. So let me see what I can do. Yeah.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
try. Please.
Okay, Kashi. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Fine.